When I got early retirement, I bought a bike and cycled the Outer Hebrides, which lie off the western shores of Scotland. I started by getting the train to Oban and then taking the ferry to Barra. This trip to the Hebrides used ferries from Oban to Barra, Barra to Eriskay, Berneray to Harris, Stornoway to Ullapool, and finally Armadale and Skye to Mallaig. The main feature at Oban is McCaig's Folly, and you can visit it. The McBrain site, now known as Calmac, should be visited to find an optimum group ticket for your intended route. The ferry staff prefer you to walk on and off with your bike. You can climb the mountain Barra. It is not very high. There was just one restaurant in Barra in 2004, so I suggest that you are self-reliant for at least one main meal. There are a few things you can do. Battersea is linked to Barra by a causeway and has some fine beaches. If you cycle around Barra, you may see an aircraft landing on the sand in the north of the island. Don't bother looking for it though if the tide is in. And you could visit the castle. I cycled northwards through the islands so that any wind would be behind me, and I had a camcorder fitted to the frame. The ferry from the northern end of Barra takes you to Eriskay, now joined to South Uist by a causeway. Charles Edward Stuart first landed on Eriskay in 1745 to launch the Jacobite Rising, and the SS Politician ran aground here in 1941 with a cargo of whisky aboard. There may still be a few bottles around. Many of the islands are linked by causeways. Large stones mark the sides of the causeways, and they protect the road users from the effect of storms. The hostel Tobermoor is about 12 miles up South Uist. It was basic, but adequate and welcoming. The Gatliff hostels then were often unmanned with an honesty box for payment, and even with a couple of rooms, they were not split by gender. You just slept on any bunk that was free. A couple of miles further north lay the statue of the Lady of the Isles, constructed as a protest against the use of South Uist as a missile testing range. The mountain ahead lies on the island of Benbecula, now joined to North and South Uist by causeways. Ben Means Mountain. Keep an eye on the weather on your left for any squall coming in from the Atlantic. It happened to me once. The right turn takes you to Lochmaddy, a ferry terminal township. Single track roads are common, so use the passing places sensibly. Eventually we reached the final causeway to Berneray. This island had a modern cafe and a working harbour. The hostel was described by a regular user as the most peaceful hostel ever, and it overlooks the Sound of Harris. The sea is shallow here, and it can affect ferry timetables to Leverborough in Harris if the weather is inclement. I chose to cycle up the east coast of Harris so I could visit the historic church at Rodel. Then I would cycle overlooking the rugged coast used by fishermen as it was too rocky to grow anything there. My next stop was at Kershada, turning right into the B8060 and finding it about 5 miles up the road, and not obviously a hostel. Renegadale is another option. I mentioned it in my novel. We turn off the A858 next day to see some history. The Calais stones are 5,000 years old, making them older than Stonehenge, and are accessible through a visitor centre and cafe. They are believed to have been a lunar observatory. The Carloway Broch, Dun Carloway, is an Iron Age defensive structure built over 2,000 years ago. Brochs had two concentric walls of stone, allowing access to the upper floors. Finally that day, I visited the historic Black House village at Gorennan, where I used the hostel facilities. Next day, I took the direct road to Stornoway, which followed the contour lines as it was originally planned to be a railway line. Stornoway is the largest town in the Outer Hebrides and my ferry link to Ullapool on the mainland. The locals prefer a quiet Sunday, so you should respect that. I had chosen that time to return southwards down the west coast, which I found to be a bit of a roller coaster. Other times I return via the Tarbert to Uig ferry. Hostels have changed a lot since 2004, but the internet will keep you up to date. Look up Gatliff Hebridean Hostels Trust, run by the islanders themselves. I used two hostels in the return journey down the west coast, one at Salemore and the other at Torridon. I was 60 when I took on the cycle tour. I hope this video encourages others to do the same. I made a detour to see Eilean Castle. The best views of this are from the top of the hill. Alternatively, there is a direct route to Caillimh with the option of a fish supper at Plockton. You could end the adventure at Caillimh as there is a railway terminal there, but I chose to go over the Skye Bridge and take my final ferry trip from Armadale to Mallaig. Hopefully an umbrella organisation will appear to simplify the planning of it and make sure the locals gain some benefit from their cycling visitors. People who enjoyed the Hebridean experience are likely to return with families and stay in places other than hostels. I did just that. Mallaig has a railway terminal and another possible end for the journey. I estimated my trip in 2004 to be about 315 miles spread over a week. The Glenfinnan Monument marks the spot where Bonnie Prince Charlie raised the standard to begin the 1745 Jacobite Rising. There is a narrow staircase inside leading to the top, and also the Harry Potter Railway Viaduct. The Caledonian Canal stretches for 60 miles. This is another potential cycle adventure. My last night was spent at the Glen Nevis Hostel before taking the train back from Fort William. The trip inspired me to write the novel The Scottish Islanders, about life in the Hebrides in the 1880s. It can be found on Amazon.